Hi, my name is Professor Johnny Williams. I'm at Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut, a professor of the sociology department. Uh, Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about education and its importance in our society for creating people who think critically about the world, right? And ways in which can drive transformation of the world for the betterment of all. And I want to start off with a quote from the great Harriet Tubman. And she said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. And this is where we are in the United States today, is that people believe that the education that they're getting is apolitical, when in actuality it's very political. The education in the United States is immersed in a web of lies that feed the American people's perception of themselves as being people who do not engage in genocidal behavior, right? Settler colonialism, bomb people for their stuff around the world. So how do you get around that? Well, you teach the truth. That is, you teach to the fact of the country, the history of the country itself, about exactly what is going on. And you try to provide that to your students, as I do in my classroom, as well as to the general public through various op-eds, through journal articles or books, to get people to read. But the problem is that a lot of people don't want to read and don't want to be informed. So then they are susceptible to being influenced by people who are demagogues, right? Who basically will lead them astray and to tell them things that are not truthful, not factual. And therefore we wind up in this kind of morass that we're in right now, where we're banning books, right? We're actually trying to get teachers fired for actually teaching factually about the history of the nation and the world, and our role in it, and how we are complicit in it. So how do we get beyond that? Well, my objective as a teacher is to always teach to the history, the factual history of what has happened, right? To get people to understand that this is where we were and this is how we can overcome it, right? But we have to think critically about the world, meaning that we don't accept the official kind of narrative about what has occurred to humanity, or what has occurred, say, in the United States where we are, right? So how do we do that then? Well, we teach people books that challenge them to rethink what they've been taught by the larger society, that is the official larger society. And education plays a role in that. Education has always been about, especially in North America, about integrating people into the existing society as it is, not transforming it. That is that our society is one that is grounded in white supremacy, racial capitalism. You can call it racial capitalism rather than white supremacy capitalism. And so people don't want to think about the fact that they're actually participating in that even to this day. So how can we get them to recognize that this problem continues to exist through the fact that they're practicing it, right? That is, they're prolonging this kind of predatory capitalism grounded in these kinds of racial power relations. You educate them about the truth of the matter, right? And how to overcome it. This is difficult in a country, as I said with the Harriet Tubman quote, it is difficult in a country that is used to lying to itself about its nature, its character, right? So we need to look at our whole selves, right? In this country, as well as North America, Europe, we should take account of the fact that we are oppressors, right? That especially oppressors in the sense of taking other people's stuff, resources. Now, if you look at Europe, for instance, Europe, as far as I know, has no resources that nobody wants to take because they have no oil, they have no, they have no gas. They get it from other parts of the world, and they get it through the use of force, right? So how do you explain that to the American people as well as to Europeans without them getting offended? Well, they should be offended, and they should take account of the fact that what they're doing is destructive to humanity by taking other people's resources and claiming it as their own. It's not going to be comfortable, and it should never be comfortable. Learning is never comfortable because it's trying to get you to inwardly look at yourself and your role in the larger society and trying to transform it. So we need to then not ban books because we're uncomfortable with it, or not try to fire teachers who are actually trying to teach factually about what is happening, so that then we can overcome this lie that we continue to tell ourselves, this idea of, at least in this country, American exceptionalism, that we are not like that, we are exceptional and we're good. But in actuality, we are human and we make mistakes, a lot of them, and we kill a lot of people with our hubris, right? By not reading and not understanding the world in this kind of critical way in ourselves and our role in it. So we must become transformative agents, which at the current moment, individuals and governments are trying to stop us from doing. We can become transformative agents. We got to stop buying into the ideology of individualism and start thinking collectively about transforming the world for all and not just for a few.